This is Joey and Frankie of Fremont Mazda in Goldsboro.
The military has been a big part of our store families throughout the years, and where their husbands are deployed to Saudi Arabia for a year or wherever they go. Seymour Johnson Air Force Base has been a huge part of our business, and anybody that steps in this store with a uniform has my utmost respect. Anything that they need, I will take care of them, period.
The promise we make to anybody that's military that buys a car from us, look, we appreciate what you do for us. If you're deployed, you do not have to worry about your spouse. We're going to be there for them. They can call us at 10 o'clock at night, only car home, got to have a way to get kids to school, and we will take care of them. That's what we do.
That was Frankie and Joey of Fremont Mazda in Goldsboro. Visit FremontMotors.com and go see the great folks at Fremont Motors just off the Highway 70 bypass in Goldsboro. Fremont Motors, the family store.
This is Steve Jones, president of Yadkin Bank and proud alumnus of East Carolina University. Yadkin Bank is proud to be a part of the Eastern North Carolina community. We are a full-service community bank dedicated to providing financial solutions for our clients. When you're dealing with Yadkin Bank, you're dealing with your neighbor and friends. Come see us at any of our North Carolina branches. At Yadkin Bank, we're in it together.
Yadkin Bank, member FDIC.
Affordable car care does exist. Meineke in Greenville, Winterville, and Jacksonville is providing affordable auto service for Eastern North Carolina. Right now, come and get an oil change for just $19.95. Sign up for a new Meineke credit card. You'll get up to $170 cash back on a set of new Cooper or Mastercraft tires. Buy 3 Monroe shocks or struts, get the 4th free. And 10% off everything for all military, state employees, and ECU and Pitt students. Take your car to Meineke Car Care in Greenville, Winterville, and Jacksonville. Meineke.com. Meineke, on with life.
Take a hit from a 300-pound linebacker and you better be wearing pads. Take a hit on the road and you better have good auto coverage. When you've got North Carolina Farm Bureau Auto Insurance, you've got the best local agents ready to help you bounce back. If you don't, well, you probably play football without a helmet, too. North Carolina Farm Bureau Insurance, helping you is what we do best. North Carolina Farm Bureau Mutual Insurance Company, Farm Bureau Insurance of North Carolina, Inc., Southern Farm Bureau Life Insurance Company, Jackson, Mississippi, an independent licensee of the Blue Cross and Blue Shield Association.
Your Farm Bureau insurance agents in Greenville are ready to help you with your auto coverage. Stick with the home team, North Carolina Farm Bureau Insurance. In Greenville, contact one of these agents: Lynn Sugg, Jake Allen, Randy Daniels, Corey Thompson, Jack Metz, Tyler Smith, Bill King, Alan Hill, and Tony Boyd. Call them today at 252-756-3165. That's 252-756-3165. North Carolina Farm Bureau Insurance. Helping you is what we do best.
Do you need trash and recycling pickup at your home or business? PACCAR Disposal and Recycling wants you to throw away your trash, not your cash. PACCAR, the premier local trash and recycling company, offers residential and commercial service in Eastern North Carolina. PACCAR provides residential customers with a 96-gallon trash cart, clean trucks, and experienced drivers. Call PACCAR today for all your residential or commercial disposal and recycling needs. Call 252-974-1225. That's 974-1225. PACCAR, your trash is our responsibility.
Greenville's exclusive site for the medical community is greenvillevitalsigns.com. You can visit local area medical practices, watch videos, and take tours of local practices right here in Greenville. If you're looking for a new provider, make sure to visit greenvillevitalsigns.com and see what these local medical practices have to offer. Check out the virtual booths and get links to the practice websites. See the latest from Vidant Health and what they have to offer. With the resources to keep you connected to the medical community, make greenvillevitalsigns.com a part of your search when looking for medical care in Greenville.
Turn it up. WRHD HD1 Farmville, Washington, Greenville. Whoa! Your home for the Mark Paschal Morning Show. 94.3 The Game and 94.3thegame.com. It's game time on 94.3 The Game.
There were some things going on in sports today that will make your brain fall out of your skull.
Now, live from our 94.3 The Game studios and streaming online at 943thegame.com, here's your host, Josh Graham.
94.3 The Game. You're tuned in to Game Time. We are the Pirate Nation's FM station, 94.3 The Game. My name's Josh Graham. In an hour and 15 minutes, we'll be joined by the first ever ECU women's lacrosse coach, Amanda Barnes. We're opening up our phone lines, 252-561-5555. 4263 if you'd like to get in on today's program, 252-561-GAME. John Jansen's the producer of this show. Danielle Beaver's here as well. And we're joined in studio, as we oftentimes like catching up with, the men's basketball beat writer for the Daily Reflector, Tony Castleberry.
Hi. Hello. Hi, friends. We're all friends today, right? Are we all going to be friends, or are we just going to get right into the divisiveness of the world and, more specifically, Pirate Nation? It's the first time I've ever said Pirate Nation like that.
We're going to get into it with all that stuff. But we need to acknowledge something first.
What's that?
There are funny things happening in sports today. There are really funny things. Even with this story. Similar to with the Donald Sterling stuff when that all happened and everybody was just masked with hating racism and punching it because it was a very punchable target with Donald Sterling. People missed the fact that actually what he said to his mistress or whoever it was
his mistress. Let's not get it twisted.
It was very funny. It was just a very funny thing to say.
It's funny that a person like that still existed after the year 2000 and still believes those things.
There's some funny things that happened today, though. One of those being the radio station in Fayetteville, the small AM ESPN station in Fayetteville, owned by Colonial Media and Entertainment, deciding not to pull ECU football altogether, but to pull this game this weekend at USF that East Carolina is playing in protest of the protest that that the band had on Saturday. So
you can barely get through this without laughing. It must be funny.
101, or excuse me, it is an FM station. I'm sorry.
Oh,
small station in Fayetteville, pulling the ECU football game in protest of the protest.
Just this game, though.
Just this game. It's a one-game ban. That'll teach East Carolina its lesson.
They're going to change their entire outlook on being a college, not just a football team.
Let me break this down as well. I know we're streaming on 943thegame.com. We have a video element here. But is it funny? Do you get why it's funny that a radio station is banning an ECU broadcast for a weekend over a very visual and peaceful protest that took place before the game that was never once acknowledged on the broadcast? Let's get that on the poll. At 943 the game, do you get why that's funny? That the protest, you can word it. Danielle, you're very well equipped to word that properly. But do you get why this is funny?
What are the poll answers? Yes and no?
Yes or no? Yeah. We'll see what the response is.
Easy enough.
252-561.
We're not going to throw I don't know in there.
4263. That's just one thing that's funny. Ric Flair said this earlier today. Ric Flair, obviously people know who that is.
Is that the Nature Boy?
That's the Nature Boy.
Yes.
He was asked this question and responded with the latest celebrity who has taken a ride on Space Mountain.
All right, Rick, this week's Ask Nate's question comes to us from Goober Dwayne. On Twitter, he wants to know, any celebrity riders of Space Mountain?
Oh, gosh. Several dozen.
We're going to get any names
you want
today?
Me to start with Halle Berry or what?
Oh, Halle Berry rode Space Mountain.
Of course she did.
Okay.
She was in Atlanta, and she just got divorced from Dave Justice.
Wait, are you telling a real story right now?
Would I have to make up a lie?
Anybody else we want to list besides Halle Berry? That's a pretty big one.
We'll stick with her.
Okay, so there's that too. Ric Flair saying that he had sex with Halle Berry. Cam Newton being sued by Stacy Keibler's husband for trashing a mansion and apparently soiling his $32,000 rug. There's a lot of things that apply here. I mean, there's a Big Lebowski quote that just needs to be thrown in here. I mean,
the rug really did tie the room together.
Yeah, did it not?
I mean,
that rug really tied the room together, did it not?
This guy peed on it.
Donnie, please.
I'm not saying Cam Newton peed on the rug.
He soiled it. Soiled it, right? He miterated as the real Big Lebowski said in The Big Lebowski.
Oh, my goodness.
Man, that I can't get past the Ric Flair thing, and I am curious.
Do you believe him?
It's Ric Flair, first of all. Back in those days, as a guy who, basically could do whatever he wanted and get with whoever he wanted, essentially. But Halle Berry's like supermodel quality.
Rap stars sing about her, yeah.
Was she so down after the divorce from David Justice that she thought, and I'm not. Maybe I'm putting Ric Flair down. Maybe he was a hot commodity. Maybe Halle Berry thought about that and said, "Hey, I want to take a ride on Space Mountain. I'm willing and able and going to do this." The main thing I'm curious about, though, is what her response to it might be. Is she going to come out and confirm or deny? Well, I don't think she'll confirm it. I think she may just say she's either going to deny it or she's going to stay silent. I want to hear from Halle Berry, though.
Is silence a confirmation?
It totally is. In the public eye, it is.
Let's get another poll question out there.
Seriously?
Do you believe Ric Flair?
10 minutes in and we've got 2 polls. We've done nothing on this show so far.
Do you believe Ric Flair? God. Yes or no?
I mean, we didn't even ask me yet, the wrestling expert, if I think
John feels left out already.
I mean, I thought you guys would turn right to me for this.
Hey, John!
By the way, John hates it when you come in because he can never talk.
And that's why I love coming in. That's why when I see the look in John's eyes when he sits there like a lost puppy, wanting to say things, and I won't allow it because my self-esteem is so low that I have to hear myself talk, and that means that you can't talk while I'm here. When I'm gone, John, or when Josh gives you the okay, talk all you want. Nobody's going to listen, but talk all you want.
Well, see, that's why I don't talk, is because I know you have a low self-esteem, so I just let you do it.
You let me.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay. So this is the John Jansen Show. What is it, Josh? It's your show, right? What is the name of the show?
Game Time.
With?
Hi, I'm Josh Graham.
See?
That's the
exactly.
Okay.
John, you wait till I'm finished, then you can talk. That's how this goes today. I'm older than you. Don't forget that. I'm older than everybody in this room by a factor of 10. All right? You people need to respect me. Do people respect me? Put that on the poll.
All right, then. Asking you.
I know what the answer to that one is,
Danielle, tag his Twitter, at Tony Castleberry.
People do not respect me.
All right. Being joined by Tony Castleberry, you can call in 252-561-4263. Let's see where this show goes. I don't have many notes for this program. Typically, I do, but when Tony's in here, I don't know where this show goes.
Yeah, there's no script.
We have you wrote a terrific story yesterday, though, regarding the band kneeling. The band kneeling. I don't want to call it a problem, but it was a protest on Saturday, and it was something that was addressed by the university. We had Chancellor Staten on our show yesterday, and you wrote a story as it relates to basketball.
Yeah.
And got some great audio and sound from Jeff Lebo and Caleb White talking about this last week, and we'll play that a little bit later on in this hour, and we'll also talk some hoops, since I don't think many people are doing that yet. We'll look at what ECU looks like on the floor itself when the Pirates get set to play. But the thing I want to make sure I get out here is I've been bludgeoned left and right, and I say left and right because both sides have said that I am favored towards the other side. I take that as a sign that maybe I'm doing things the right way, but I don't know in terms of how I was called weak in the way I interviewed Cecil Staten. I was called a social justice warrior with a liberal agenda that I'm pushing upon my audience irresponsibly. The statement was released yesterday by the ECU School of Music officials, and they said that the protest would no longer be tolerated. But here's what we know. I've done a little bit of reporting, and I've learned from some sources that meetings took place Sunday and yesterday. We heard that from Cecil Staten on the air, that they met at around 4 o'clock yesterday before the statement was released. And what's apparently happened, that out of the 19 protesters, there was apparently just one or two maybe a couple more, but it's a very small number that instigated this protest to where it was. And it was the band's decision that they would no longer protest moving forward. Not that everybody agreed with that decision, but it was the band bringing this issue up. Was there pressure from the outside? You're damn right there was pressure from the outside. But that's not to say they were forced to do anything. It was more about what you would expect. How often do you think the band gets to see the chancellor and university officials on a daily basis after you get booed at a football stadium and obviously hear about how people are upset about this issue? That doesn't happen very often, so I'd imagine there was pressure, just naturally with what they were dealing with. So that's what I think happened. There are band members who are going to social media saying that that's not the case, that they were being told other things that were not in the statement. The one that came out earlier today that I noticed on social media was Jake Cable, who's a part of the Marching Pirates, saying that they were told that they should understand the consequences of what they were protesting, and that pretty much they could give them the right to protest, but the protection of it, that they had to worry about their safety. It was frustrating for him. That was in what he put on social media. So there's a lot to take in here, Tony, and I don't mean to be so broad, but there's so much that you could dissect. What interests you the most with what happened with all this?
Well, that kid's comment in particular stood out to me because that was an angle that we hadn't heard, that officials at ECU basically said to the band members the reason that they didn't want them or that they wouldn't tolerate a protest was for the band members' safety. That was something that we hadn't heard until today.
The quote was, "We support you, but must ask you not to protest for your safety."
Right, and that's something that I hadn't heard until today. I don't know if that had been released in any form. Mm-hmm. It certainly wasn't in either of the statements from the university, from what I remember. So that was a little bit odd to me. That and that it also seems like an easy way out for the administrators. You know what I'm saying? Like they can say, well, the reason that we're telling them that they can't do this thing that they have a right to do is because we fear for their safety. Right? Am I reading that correctly?
I could see that being a loophole for it. I don't want to go as far to say that. But the one thing I want to make clear is I'm being told that I'm pro-protest or whatever because I said I didn't mind it yesterday. I neither liked it or disliked it. I mean, I saw it as a protest. I saw it as a peaceful one.
A silent and peaceful protest.
It could not have been more peaceful.
Yeah.
Honestly, I just don't like telling people how to protest. And that's the stance I took. If that's controversial, then that's controversial. And oh well, the anthem was performed. There were people performing it on one knee. So if you're talking about them doing their job...
Yeah, I saw that a lot too.
Quite frankly, they did. They got an anthem. You booed it.
Yeah, and here's where you and I differ, Josh. I'm totally fine with people deciding to boo because...
I'm fine with them booing. I just don't understand why they boo.
Okay, well, that's fine. But, I mean, the reason that I didn't have a problem with folks who decided to boo, I did have a problem with people throwing things at band members, which is what I heard.
That's a crime, yes.
That's illegal. And way over the line just from a moral decency standpoint, from what I can tell. But I'm okay with the booing because that freedom of speech, and in this case, since it was silent, it's more a freedom of expression thing. That's not a one-way street. If you really are going to be for freedom of speech and freedom of expression, that means that you're going to have to be okay with people saying and doing things that you don't like, right? Mm-hmm. I interviewed a comedian recently, Gary Goldman, who grew up in Boston and has lived in New York for a long time, and he said when he was a young kid in Boston, the Ku Klux Klan had a march in Boston, and Gary didn't understand why they were allowed to do that. Like, Dad, this is a hate group. They're racist. Why are they allowed to march on the streets of a major city like that? Mm-hmm. That's free speech too. We don't like what, most of us don't like what the Ku Klux Klan is saying. We don't like what they stand for. But like it or not, that also is free speech. That is freedom of expression, too. It goes both ways. So I'm okay with people booing whatever decision these protesters make, but even more than that, I am for those folks, whoever they want, however they want to do it, and whoever they might be, as long as we discussed before the show, long as it's peaceful, long as it isn't hurting anybody else, they can protest anything they want at any time they want, and I support that as well.
Poll questions are up at 943 The Game on Twitter. One of those being, do you respect Tony Castleberry? And one writer or tweeter writes in, you're dang right. Where would blue collar comedy be without him?
That's a reference to me sounding like Jeff Foxworthy.
Tweeter writes in, safety should never be an issue, and it's a shame that Pirate fans resorted to that.
I agree with that. Yeah.
You can continue to chime in. We'll read the best tweets at 943 The Game. We have really good audio that Tony's brought to us from his story yesterday.
You're welcome.
On Reflector.com. Jeff Lebo and Caleb White commenting on the national anthem, since it happened last week before all of this took place inside Dowdy-Ficklin Stadium. Good foresight on Tony's part.
I asked him specifically about, Kaepernick starting this thing. And so when you hear Lebo say something to the effect of, I don't necessarily 100% agree with the way he did it, he's not talking about any ECU band member there. He's talking about Colin Kaepernick, because I did these interviews before the ECU band did what it did.
We're going to hear those responses next on Game Time.
For years, Callie Ann Phelps has been singing about Phelps Chevrolet.
Phelps Chevrolet is the one for you. Low prices, service too. See the big dealer right away. Carolina's finest, Phelps Chevrolet.
And you'll agree with what Skylar Phelps has to say.
Nobody beats Phelps Chevrolet's prices. Nobody.
The name you can depend on. Phelps Chevrolet.
Get you one.
Find new roads with Chevrolet. Then come find yours at Phelps Chevrolet in Greenville.
This is Dorson White, Senior Vice President for First South Bank. At First South, we believe in community banking that truly puts you first. I do that by helping you ask the right questions so I can tailor the best solutions for your business or your financial goals. When I know where you're headed, I can help you get there. First South Bank, the home of You First Banking, FirstSouthNC.com, member FDIC.
This is Todd Mitchum with Mercer Glass, Eastern North Carolina's most complete glass company. Mercer Glass specializes in frameless, heavy glass shower enclosures. Remember, when you want the best quality, service, and installation, call Mercer Glass, 752-5101.
Mercer Glass is clearly different.
Accelerate your future in the Healthcare Business Informatics program at Pitt Community College. Our program bridges the gap between clinical healthcare and the healthcare business environment. We train students to use information technology for healthcare delivery and decision-making throughout the healthcare field. With over 24,000 students enrolled in over 4,000 classes, we're Pitt Community College, accelerating your future for success.
Back to school. From preschool to college, your kids are back in class and working hard, and hard work makes you hungry. So why not reward your hardworking students with snacks from Bertie County Peanuts? Their delicious peanuts, all natural peanut butter and cheese straws make great after-school treats, as well as great care packages. Order online at BertieCountyPeanuts.net or pick up your favorites in Greenville at Artisans and Jefferson's Florist. Always local and always fresh. Bertie County Peanuts.
Here's Pirate coaches Scotty Montgomery, Jeff Lebo, and Cliff Godwin.
Hey guys, it's time for the third annual Aces for Autism dinner and auction.
Eat great food provided by Rucker Johns and hear how Aces for Autism is impacting our community.
1 in 58 children in our state are diagnosed with autism. Let's fight for these children and their families.
Join us on Friday, October 14th. Buy your tickets today at acesforautismnc.com.
Together, we can make a difference.
Get your tickets online at acesforautismnc.com.
Welcome back to Game Time. 94.3 The Game. If you want to get in on any of our topics today, 252-561-4263 is the best phone number to do that. There is another one, but don't worry about that. 252-561-4263. In about 1 hour, we will be joined by first ever ECU women's lacrosse coach Amanda Barnes. Look forward to catching up with her on Game Time. So glad you're along with us. However, and wherever you are tuning in, Tony Castleberry's with us in studio.
Yeah, that's me. I'm here.
He is. Tweeter writes in, why not protest on your own time, not while at work or during an obligation? First thing I want to say is this. We've already established the fact that we don't care. As long as it's peaceful protest, we're not telling anyone how to protest, if it's legal as well. But the work thing is another thing that I can't really stand, because we do this sometimes. We do sometimes. I know it's for a different reason, and it's rare, but there are times where exceptions are made during the work setting. Like, what if you are of Muslim religious faith and you go to pray throughout the workday two or three times during the workday?
Yeah,
that's on the company's watch, is it not?
Yeah, that's a form, I guess you could say, of protest. I don't know. The main reason that people protest at football games and at large gatherings of people is so it can have some type of effect, all right? That's why they do it. That's why whenever I hear the argument that, well, that's not the right platform. Well, pray tell, what is the correct platform in your opinion? Does that mean that the right platform for the people who ask what the right platform is are mainly people who just don't want to see it?
If your argument is,
in my opinion,
if the goal of a protest is to get the most attention attracted to a subject, name me one venue or event that gets more attention in Eastern North Carolina than an ECU football game.
There isn't any. 50-some thousand people in one place. There are very few. I mean, I don't even think there's a place in Wilmington that holds that many people, right?
Another tweeter writes in, could you protest by cutting class and not receive an absence? The only difference in this case with how it was juxtaposed going into the weekend, if it was just by the example you gave, it would be you asking for permission to cut class, say you had something for some reason, and then the professor trying to punish you afterwards.
Yeah.
Because that they didn't. It was known, not by athletics. Athletics did not know about this, but I have to imagine some people in the band community, the band director would not have let him back out for halftime, I'd imagine, if 19 of his band members were going rogue throughout the national anthem. I have to believe that they knew that this was going to happen.
Yeah. And there's a thing I just saw, the same tweeter just sent this in about the fact that if you protest at work, you know, you just have to know that you could get fired. Yeah, that's the truest form of actually living this protest. If you're willing to lose your job or your status on a team with your protest, that is believing everything that you're about when it comes to a protest. And I'm for that. Now, there aren't a lot of people who would be willing to do that because it is your job or it is your place on a team. But there are some people, Kaepernick started the whole thing, who clearly said, you know what, I'm willing to lose my spot on a team because of this thing that I believe in. So far, he hasn't been cut. He might be cut because of poor play more than anything else. But I could have seen, I thought Goodell was going to come out right away and tell Kaepernick to get out of the league because of just who Goodell is.
But he didn't.
And he hasn't yet. And I think that says something about the effect of the protest, no matter how much a lot of people don't like it.
I totally agree with that. And I'll say this as well. I mean, I don't want to completely play the race card here, but the vast majority of people that I've heard from are white. They are white people.
Absolutely.
And I've heard from the other side of this, there are a lot of African Americans in this community who are not uncomfortable with this issue. The only reason I bring up race is because this part of the conversation, this conversation about police brutality, has been a part of the African American conversation in that community for decades, dating back to Rodney King. So the protest, which is supposed to make people uncomfortable, it's not making them nearly as uncomfortable as it is for white people
And
who aren't used to the idea that police might not be their friends in some cases.
Truth, and let's not get it twisted. The reason that folks are protesting this, I think maybe there are a few who are doing it in a self-serving manner because they want attention for themselves, but the overwhelming majority of the people who are protesting, the overwhelming majority of people who are involved in Black Lives Matter and all the other societal uprisings that we're seeing in the wake of all these police shootings, they're doing it because of the racial injustice that they feel. They are not doing it because they don't respect the military. They're not doing it because they don't respect police officers. They're doing it because of the injustice that they see and that they feel in their communities. And there's really no other reason that they're doing it. And anybody who tries to skew the argument in another way, I would encourage them to talk to some of the people who are protesting instead of just automatically being against it because they feel like that's what they've always done and what they always should do.
I'll leave it with this. People have a couple choices here. You have the choice to just instantly dismiss this and make it about something it's not, like Tony just said.
About the military, which it's not about. It never has been.
Hasn't been over the last month and a half, and if you still think that, your head's in the weeds.
Yep.
Quite frankly. Or you can listen. It's one or the other.
Listen to people who don't look like you.
I didn't say that. You did.
I'm just saying. I'm saying it about myself.
Okay.
I try my best to listen to people who don't look like me because that's the only way that you're going to learn about what is affecting them. Instead of just living in your white bubble.
Oh, wow.
And then how could you ever see what's happening in another community if you don't step out of that? If you just choose to believe these things that people have said, people that look mainly like you do for all these decades, you're never going to learn. You got to listen to somebody that looks different from you and that lived a different life than you lived.
252-561-4263. I'm almost scared to give out the phone number. 252-561-4263. Tony Castleberry's with us on Game Time, 94.3 The Game. You can call us at that line. We'll get to the Jeff Lebo sound to diffuse some of the tension.
Caleb in particular was very good.
He was.
You will be impressed with Caleb White's quotes, I think.
Caleb White's very great to hear from.
He's smart, senior guy, been through it, knows what he's talking about.
I'd love for someone to call Tony Castleberry because I know some people are sitting in their car and they're fuming and yelling at the radio. We're giving you the chance. 252-561-4263. I want to see an on-radio bare-knuckle fist fight.
No way.
In the street,
I'm not
shirtless.
No way. That's not what this is about. I'm not trying to start a fight with anybody at all. I'm just coming at it from the way that I feel. As I said earlier, these are my opinions.
I'm not saying you are. I'm just trying to say that I would enjoy that.
Well, yeah, you would. I'm sure you would.
And Danielle could tweet it. Tweet it out. She's the queen of polls, and she does such a great job. We have someone on the line, actually. Who do we got? Kevin. Kevin's with us on Game Time. Kevin, what do you have for us?
Yes, just a question that goes through my mind many times, and I'm not claiming to have all the answers on this, and I don't want to come across as bigoted and unwilling to listen to somebody who doesn't look like me, as y'all have been talking about. But at what point does it make sense? I don't know any policemen that are just out to openly harass and hurt someone. At what point does it make sense to say, if you do what the police ask you, they will not shoot you?
Well, I think an important thing to note here is it's not just about the police officers. If you listen to what the arguments are, and I have a family that's full of police, the big issue that a lot of people are presenting is keeping people who are accountable, keeping people who may make mistakes accountable. People think there's a problem in the accountability department when it comes to how these things are managed in the aftermath. I think people like to go to the extremes of things. People who are against Black Lives Matter will point out the extremists who are not representing the majority, and the same way goes on the other side when it comes to police officers.
It does, absolutely. And that's part of the problem.
The people who say all cops are bad, or most of them are bad, are the people who are part of this problem. And I think it starts with acknowledgement that most of them are good, and that policing is an important thing, and we should recognize and appreciate officers, while also at the same time denounce the ones that are acting irresponsibly and make sure there is an accountability there. I think that's what most of this is about, and I hope that answers your question.
Well, it does, but let me ask you this. Have you heard of a report in any of these incidents where it was just blatant a police officer walked up and shot somebody, or in every instance, hasn't it come out that the person, however violent they were being, they were not following the officer's instructions?
Okay, I'll speak.
That officer felt threatened. If you follow an officer's instructions, they will not shoot you.
Okay,
we all give up liberties. I mean, we don't live in a totally free society. We lock our doors. We do all these things. We give up certain freedoms for the good of society. And, you know, we all like to think, well, I shouldn't have to follow this instruction. Well, there's certain freedoms we give up to live in a peaceful society. And if an officer feels it's appropriate to ask a citizen to do this or not do this, if we would listen to that, we wouldn't get shot.
Kevin, all good thoughts, my man. Appreciate you sharing with us today.
All right.
That's Kevin joining us.
Can I counter?
Yeah, we have to hit a break soon, but yeah.
Let me marinate on this.
Please. No. You could, what's your response before we hit the break?
Well, I will respond with the fact that we've seen video of a black man who was literally walking away and got shot in the back.
Which one?
That was the one in South Carolina, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. You could pull the videos. I see where he's coming from in a lot of cases, but I mean, there's some you can't defend. Like Minnesota, that's one that's there's
Eric Garner getting choked to death for selling cigarettes.
Yeah, the 12-year-old, not great.
Tamir Rice, all of these. All right, and
I just say, I'm not going to say that point to one, but there's a lot that make people think that this could potentially be a problem. Again, this is a sports show, and this is bleeding into politics. I don't want to completely go there, but in terms of where athletics meets politics, we went to that place when it comes to basketball, and I think that's going to be an important place where a lot of things could happen here, and we promise we'll get to that sound next.
At the Little Bank, we recognize that every business is unique, and we pride ourselves in taking the time to get to understand yours. At the Little Bank, we believe that local decision-making is critical to our success and to that of our business customers. Learn more about us online at thelittlebank.com and experience the Little Bank difference today. At the Little Bank, we're big enough to handle your needs and small enough to care. The Little Bank is a member FDIC and an equal housing lender.
This is Greg Gardner with Winter Chevrolet. We have a great selection of new Chevrolets and certified pre-owned vehicles for your choosing, from fuel-efficient cars and family-friendly SUVs to trucks ready to help you work or play. When you're in the market for an automobile, you owe it to yourself to experience a relaxed atmosphere at Winter Chevrolet. Find out why your friends and neighbors keep coming back to us for sales and service. Enjoy our certified service where you're recognized by name and face, not a number. Chevy runs deep at Winter Chevrolet. Come by and see us on Highway 11 Ayden or at winterchevrolet.net.
Agri Supply has everything you need for farm, shop, or home. Enjoy tailgating before the big game with Carolina Cooker cast iron cookware, gas burners, grills, tents, and more. Don't let the name fool you. They also carry a full line of hunting supplies, truck and trailer accessories, and more. Visit Agri Supply in Greenville at 4500 Martin Luther King Jr. Highway or shop online at agrisupply.com. Open Monday through Friday, 7:30 to 5:30. Saturday, 7:30 to 5.
Hey folks, this is David Hollinger from Texas Roadhouse. It's football season, and if you're interested in the best tailgate, Texas Roadhouse has some great options for the next ECU game. Think about how jealous the folks in the parking lot are going to be when they realize you have Texas Roadhouse legendary fall off the bone ribs, green beans, and our homemade rolls. It's not really a tailgate party unless you do it Texas Roadhouse style. Call ahead and let Texas Roadhouse show you how to tailgate. We're located next to the movie theater on Southwest Greenville Boulevard.
Hey Jock, did you know that I was the 2015 Account Manager of the Year and broke a 45-year company record in my first full year of sales?
That's awesome, Charlotte. Did you know I just got promoted into management at a record-breaking pace?
CopyPro is a place for real career advancement.
Hi, I'm Sean Dipple, Branch Sales Manager here at CopyPro. If you're a serious business-to-business sales professional, then I want to hear from you. Go online and apply at copypro.careers.
Clean transportation options can help you fuel what matters.
I'm Nancy McFarland. I'm the mayor of the city of Raleigh, and we're fueling what matters to us. We use biodiesel in our heavy equipment. We've got propane in a lot of our police cars. We've really embraced the electric car. Join the city of Raleigh and fuel what matters.
To learn how you can fuel what matters, visit fuelwhatmatters.org. Sponsored by the NC Clean Energy Technology Center, the NC Department of Transportation, and the North Carolina Association of Broadcasters in cooperation with this station.
You're tuned into Game Time on 94.3 The Game. We're trying to have fun around here. That last segment got to a place where I don't think this show has gotten already, but it's okay. Tony Castleberry's with us.
I don't think it always
fun.
needs to be fun.
I don't think so either. And
I think it's important to talk about these things and try to understand where another person is coming from.
Agreed.
Now, let's have fun.
Tweeter writes in, all caps, keep saying what's real. We hear you.
Nice.
Someone wants, in response to, do you get why the banning of this weekend's ECU versus USF game from being broadcast on a station is funny? This assume you think it's funny. Some people may not get the joke. Much respect to Tony Castleberry, hashtag straight out of Stokes County.
I went to high school with her.
Okay, yeah, that was Heather B. who said that. Okay, let's get an update on these poll results. We have our intern, Danielle Beaver.
I didn't go to high school with her.
You didn't.
I'm just saying.
Danielle Beaver, what do we have on the poll results so far?
Do you get why the banning of this weekend's ECU versus USF game from being broadcast on a radio station is funny? 59% say no.
Figures.
That's why I laughed.
That itself is funny.
Do you believe Ric Flair? 62% say yes.
Oh, the nature boy.
Halle Berry rode Space Mountain, apparently.
God.
Okay. And do people respect Tony Castleberry?
Come on, bring it, Danielle.
58% say yes.
Yeah! A lot of time left, though.
We need another Tony Castleberry poll.
No, we don't. That's fine. Let's leave it at that.
Who does Tony Castleberry sound more like? Jeff Foxworthy or Randy Moss?
Oh, that's not even close. It's Jeff Foxworthy.
Get out of here!
I want you to read a Golden Corral commercial script. I want to see if anybody can notice the difference.
I'm never going to eat there, so that'll be the closest I get to a Golden Corral.
We still haven't had the segment where we get Jeff Foxworthy or Randy Moss like quotes and have him say them. Maybe we get one of Jeff Foxworthy's jokes and have Castleberry say it, and we'll see which one's closer or further off. But yeah, let's see. Who does he sound more like, Randy Moss or Jeff Foxworthy?
I had a comedian tell me that he thought I sounded like Randy Moss.
Who was that?
Arnaz J.
Really?
Yeah. He said, man, you sound like Randy Moss. Like he didn't even wait for me to ask a question. There are times when I go in and out of Foxworthy, I'll admit. It sounds very Foxworthy-esque from time to time. But I think I don't have... Randy Moss has got even more of a southern drawl than I have. I think.
Yeah,
maybe. I don't know.
He went to Marshall and Huntington, man. I'll tell you what, you can gather it.
I can moss it up.
You can.
When I want.
It's the only time you can ever use the phrase moss it up.
Moss it up, baby.
Okay. We've been promising this audio for a good time
Seriously, can we get to it so I can stop talking?
Caleb White and Jeff Lebo last Thursday with Tony Castleberry, leading to the story that Tony wrote, which you can read at reflector.com.
Yeah, buddy.
Regarding ECU, the ECU basketball player and ECU coach's stance on what Colin Kaepernick has done, not on the kneeling band members because that had not happened until Saturday. So this is last Thursday. Caleb White speaking about Colin Kaepernick and potentially how ECU players might think about protesting during the national anthem.
It's not something that I've really discussed with anybody. I've thought about it, myself, because being an African American man, I have my opinions about, the things that are going on in the world. I kind of do my homework about it, but I think it'll be something that does come up, and we'll see from there. I'll be proud of anybody that take a stand for what they believe in. Right. If the time comes for myself where I feel like, this time where I do it as well, then I'm going to do it. But yeah, I agree. I like that athletes are taking a stand. Yeah, we have that platform, a lot of people are going to follow us. Not even to say that since somebody, takes a knee or then everybody's going to jump on, their side and believe that. But it's good to get the conversation going and get the conversation started because there are a lot of people, that are afraid to really take on that conversation with, amongst races that are afraid to take on that conversation. So I think it's really good.
I think that was very thoughtful, and also I think it hadn't really come home to ECU yet, this issue, but still a very, I'm not going to say courageous thing to say, but not far from it.
A thoughtful response from a senior, like I said, who He's my go-to guy for these kind of things.
Michelle and Ziggy's another one.
He's a great one too, but I've known Caleb for a little bit longer, and I knew that I would get something from him that not only would help me write the story that was in Monday's paper, but also would be something that we could maybe revisit as these things happen. Because, like it or not, these protests are not going away. I think this is something that we're going to see in other sports. We already have. And, I'll be interested to see on from an ECU basketball perspective, if these kids decide to do it, because, the audio that we have of Coach Jeff Lebo, he says that he's going to support his team. But now with the, I guess you could call it a mandate, the statement that came out from ECU administrators, maybe that's going to change now.
Before we discuss more on this, here was that statement Tony alluded to from head coach Jeff Lebo.
Well, I talked to him about it. I talked about the feelings on it. I haven't had any conversations with my guys. Obviously, we haven't had a game yet, but we'll discuss that beforehand. But I haven't had anybody come up to me and say anything about making a statement about that. But I understand kind of what his thought process is. I'm not 100% behind the way he did it.
Yeah.
But we'd have to discuss that as a group. Kids now have they have a lot of thoughts and opinions on different things, and you support them, but you want to be able to educate them on the ramifications of those decisions that they make.
Sure.
So we would talk about that.
Women's lacrosse coach Amanda Barnes will be with us in about a half hour. That was head coach Jeff Lebo with Tony Castleberry last Thursday. We have some more ECU basketball audio to get to in a little bit, but I've said it all along. I think anybody saying that this is it's the tip of the iceberg, or we've reached the peak, I should say, of the Colin Kaepernick stuff and all of this, I don't think it's true with the coach that's in Golden State right now and what he's already said and how many prominent athletes in basketball specifically are African American. And I think in college basketball, we've already seen it, and ever since I've been covering the team, and I'd imagine ever since Tony has, the basketball players are out there during the anthem, which means they're out there and potentially could participate in something like this.
Yeah, I mean, they could take a knee or sit, or, we've also seen the raised fist is another form. That one probably will be accepted, or it seems to me that it's already been accepted a little bit more than the sitting or the taking of the knee. I don't know exactly why it is, but it is, I guess, because maybe it's just a standing thing. Maybe Americans just like it when other people stand for things. Literally. Like, you have to stand for this, it's the flag, and we've always saluted it, so we're just going to always continue to salute it. And when one or a group of people decide that they're not going to do that in a form of protest, it blows up the way it is, Josh. And I don't know exactly why that is. I think it maybe speaks to how fragile our American psyche might be, quite frankly. But here we are. And as I said, not going away. I am interested. These are newsworthy things, man. This is like, you talked about sports and life kind of intersecting. This is it. And I enjoy covering these kind of things. I'm not going to stop talking about them on radio shows and in my stories. I think it's important. I think it's important to hear every side of it. And that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to more than talk. I'm trying to listen. I think that's the only way you learn.
Those are the options. You can dismiss or you can listen. That's it. Or you can call in. 252-561-4263 is the phone number. 252-561-4263 if you want to get your thoughts heard on Game Time. We'll talk actual hoops and how the Pirates are looking when we return from a break. We'll hear more from Caleb White and Michelle and Ziggy as well. Keep it tuned to 94.3 The Game.
Bailey's is proud to carry Forevermark. Forevermark diamonds are conflict-free and undergo a strict assessment to ensure they are natural and untreated. Each Forevermark diamond carries the promise of an enduring commitment to responsible sourcing and originates from a carefully selected source that provides benefits to the local community and the environment. This ensures that Forevermark diamonds help improve the lives of those involved in its journey, so you can feel proud to give, own, or wear a Forevermark diamond. Bailey's Fine Jewelry. Every woman wants a Bailey box.
There's a great banking option for residents of Pitt, Martin, Beaufort, Washington, and Craven counties. Waco Community Credit Union. They want you to know that you don't have to work at Weyerhaeuser to join. They offer higher deposit account interest rates and lower loan rates than a typical bank. Plus, their fees are usually lower, too. Call Waco Community Credit Union to learn more at 866-811-4240 or go to wacocreditunion.com. That's WEYCO creditunion.com. Waco Community Credit Union is NCUA insured.
Hey, it's Brett Oliverio, owner of Sup Dogs Restaurant. The best place to be on game day is Dowdy Ficklin Stadium. The best way to get there, the Sup Dogs Game Day Shuttle. The shuttle is free and brings Pirate fans to and from the game. The shuttle runs 3 hours before the game, during, and 2 hours after the game. Pickup locations are at Sup Dogs Restaurant on 5th Street and 5 Points Plaza in Uptown Greenville. For route details, visit uptowngreenville.com, and as always, go Pirates.
Could we possibly cram any more people on this bus?
If that seat wasn't occupied by an exhausted backpack, we could get one more over there.
Yeah, we could all lay down in the aisles, stack like pancakes.
We're halfway there. It's like a jigsaw puzzle of human extremities in here.
And of course, my phone's dying. I'd love to just put my earbuds in and listen to my favorite radio show.
Yeah, try to forget you're hurtling through space in a tin can with 50 mouth-breathing strangers.
Exactly.
Hey, try the Next Radio app. It picks up local radio using 75% less battery than streaming apps.
Seriously?
Hey, would I lie to you at a time like this?
Well, I mean, I don't actually know you.
Hey, have faith, citizen.
What's that smell? Oh, who took their shoes off?
When battery life is crucial, but so is your entertainment, download the Next Radio app on any Samsung Galaxy S7, S7 Edge, and Note 7 phone. Live and local, wherever you go. And now available on every carrier.
This is the Dan Patrick Show.
I just like to say that y'all rock, man.
Lane Kiffin, it's one thing to be really good at something. It's another thing to be really good at overseeing everybody else. That's what I've yet to see with Lane Kiffin. Do I think he's a great offensive mind? The answer is yes. Can he be a head coach? Seems like he's been around a long time. But is he a head coach? That's where I have my doubts.
Dan Patrick. Weekdays 9 to noon on 94.3 The Game and 94.3thegame.com.
You're tuned in to Game Time, 94.3 The Game. We haven't been great at teasing stuff during today's show. I promised audio that I didn't deliver on one segment, and then it was pushed back. And since we're running out of time in the first hour with Tony Castleberry, we will save the ECU basketball audio for 12 minutes. We have a couple of cuts from earlier today at practice where we'll talk actual hoops in this hour. A lot of our discussion has centered around the protest from Saturday and the subsequent statement released by the ECU School of Music yesterday. We had the Chancellor, Dr. Cecil Staten, with us yesterday as well. And you can call us, 252-561-4263, if you want to get your thoughts heard. We'll have Amanda Barnes, the women's lacrosse coach, with us in hour number 2. We have Scott on the line with us. Scott, what do you have for us? Scott, you there?
Yes, sir.
What's up?
Not much. How you doing?
Doing well. Scott, what do you got for us?
Is this Josh?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize I was on the air.
Oh, you're on the air right now, my man. What's going on?
No problem. Look, didn't want to. I think some of the protests and some of this could be generational. I mean, I believe typically a younger generation can have different feelings than, say, my generation that tends to be older. But I just wanted to segue just a little bit to Tony. Really appreciate what you guys do, and I enjoy his segments very much so.
Thanks.
I don't Twitter, don't tweet, don't do any of that, so I can't be part of the 58%, but I give Tony a thumbs up.
Yeah!
Best call ever. I want this. John, I need you to hold that clip and email it to me.
Oh, okay.
I need John to cut it up for me and email that to me. Thank you very much.
Send it to his grandma, too. Tony loves grandma.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Well, the other thing I wanted to say was I was just interested in how's Tony's J going today. I didn't know. I understand he was going to play a little bit of hoops, and I've had the opportunity to play some hoops with Tony before, but I was just wondering how that went today. I know that's a little bit lighter than what the deep subject you guys have been into, but I felt like the show needed a little brevity. It needed a little bit of lightening up and kind of segue to a brighter subject.
Love it,
Scott. Thank you for playing along. We'll get to that in a sec. Thanks for listening.
I know now who that is.
Thank you, guys.
I know now who that is. I
Who
know
is
this
that?
guy. He's a great guy. And I have played ball against him. He has seen.
Would you have said he's a great guy if he didn't say good things?
Yeah,
about
I
him?
would. I've worked with him actually at high school football games.
Okay.
He's a solid guy. He's seen me at my best and worst on the basketball court. He's seen days when I couldn't miss. He's also seen days when nobody should have passed me the ball because I was missing everything.
Your J's wet, man.
To answer his question, after having a little minor surgery that took me out of commission for about a month, I'm back on the court, and Scott, my jumper looks pretty good, buddy. Not gonna lie. Next time you see me on the court, be ready because I'm raining jumpers from everywhere, mostly around the 3-point arc, but pretty much anywhere.
Put this on the poll at 943.
Oh my
game.
God, we couldn't go another minute.
Could you take Castleberry on in one-on-one?
Yeah. Dude, that's open. That's a lot of people listening, man.
I know. I could.
As John, here's my challenge
question.
to you.
Change the question. Who would win one-on-one between John Jansen and Tony Castleberry?
And we need to settle it. I'm ready anytime.
I have a pretty good jumper as well.
That's fine. I'm totally ready.
Danielle will do the play-by-play.
Anytime.
Okay.
I'm putting the challenge out there. Oh, you saw it, Danielle. You heard it. You see it. Anytime you want to play, we can play. I'll moss it up on you. Randy Moss was a great basketball player.
I was about to say, does that work?
Don't
for basketball?
trip. He was a fantastic basketball player. I model my whole game and life after the guy.
Before we hit the top of the hour, let's get a look at our sports headlines with John.
Sports news. Everyone, a little breaking news for you.
He does it.
Tony, we can hear you.
We have some extracurriculars going on.
I don't
apparently.
care what John has to say now
said,
or
what
ever.
I'm trying to get through
because Tony Castleberry sounds like Jeff Foxworthy. What is the best buffet in the USA?
I will say it, Chad, before we're done, but let John have his moment in the sun now.
I mean, I don't get much time to talk in this show because of you, so I mean, this is my time to shine. And you're taking the spotlight.
And the ratings prove that that's what the people want. But you go ahead, John. Do your little sports segment. It's fine.
After only one season as hitting coach. After only one season as hitting
He's
coach.
leaking confidence
Barry
right now.
Bonds has been fired by the Miami Marlins. Marlins were fourth in the majors in batting average at .263, but that didn't translate into runs as Miami was 27th. What's going on?
Keep going.
I'm trying.
Sorry.
Maria Sharapova can start playing tennis again in April. The court reduced the Russian tennis star suspension to 15 months after deciding that she acted with no significant fault. And last night, the Minnesota Vikings remained undefeated after a win against the New York Giants. The Vikings defense, led by former ECU Pirate Linville Joseph, surrendered only 10 points to the Giants. The final score was 24-10. And tonight, the Major League Baseball postseason begins when the Baltimore Orioles travel to Toronto to take on the Blue Jays. That game is slated to start at 8 p.m. and will be on TBS. And that is your sports update.
Tweeter writes in, John Jansen has a more athletic-sounding voice than Tony Castleberry.
And then he changed it, though.
Is that a thing?
At 943 the game on Twitter, can a voice sound athletic? Yes or no?
It's ridiculous, John.
Does that mean I have like a good sounding voice? Like I sound like a human being that's
Someone
fit?
says that me and you should play for charity. See, Tony would destroy me.
Josh is a person who is self-aware. John, you, on the other hand, think you can beat me in a game of basketball. You really think it, don't you? Just because you're 20 years younger than me, you think you can beat me. Not knowing that I'm in that gym almost every single day working on my game. No joke. I'm in there 5-6 days a week. I'm putting up, on average, probably 200, 300 jumpers a week.
Okay.
And you think you can beat me?
Yeah.
Do I look like a man who is out of shape to you? That's my question.
No.
Okay.
Tony looks great.
All right.
He hasn't been on the sauce.
I'm 4 months clean and sober.
Yeah.
I've got a new focus, And if you want to come out there and challenge me, we can make it happen.
I mean, I used to dominate the CYO leagues in high school.
Well, when you put it that way, whoa. Like Joey Lawrence.
How's that for trash
Whoa.
talk?
That wasn't great. But now this guy changes his mind. He thinks you have an athletic sounding voice. I would disagree.
How can he change his mind? Like, how did my voice change?
He said after the sports. It changed
After
his
you
mind.
read your news.
After a disrupted sports segment?
He's on your side, dude.
Okay.
He's saying that you're the one that sounds more athletic. He's wrong, obviously. But, I mean, that's what he thinks. I can't wait for this game. Where are we playing? ECU, Greenville Aquatics. Now, my home game is the Greenville Aquatics and Fitness Center. But we can play on a neutral site if you like.
I will play anywhere.
Rec Center at ECU? Do you have access?
I do, but I've never played there before. It doesn't matter to me.
I
mean, I'll go anywhere.
See?
There we go.
Doing this.
We got it.
I want to do it this week. I want to do it when we're done with this show.
We're talking about basketball when we return from break. ECU basketball specifically. We have audio from Caleb White and Michelle Nzigi, and we'll bring that to you in addition to some of the funny things that have happened in sports as well. That's ahead on Game Time. Also, Amanda Barnes, the head lacrosse coach on the women's side for ECU, is our guest in 15 minutes. Please stay with us for Hour 2 of Game Time.
Picture yourself in a living room. Your pipe and slippers.
Pitt County has a strong voice in Raleigh, and it belongs to State Representative Dr. Greg Murphy. Be it as a trusted physician and community leader here at home, or in his humanitarian efforts overseas, Dr. Murphy has devoted his entire life to service, and he continues that service as your representative. As the only medical doctor in the state legislature, Dr. Murphy has quickly become the go-to man on healthcare-related issues, finding common-sense solutions that lend a helping hand, not provide a handout. Dr. Murphy is using his decades of real-world experience as a physician and small business owner to be Pitt County's greatest advocate, protecting our schools, our university, and our hospital. That's why so many of your friends and neighbors are saying it's good to have a doctor in the house. Join them in supporting Dr. Greg Murphy for NC House.
I'm Dr. Greg Murphy, candidate for NC House, and the friends of Dr. Greg Murphy paid for this ad.
Are you 50 years old? Have you had a colonoscopy? Colon cancer is the second leading cause of cancer-related deaths. What makes this so horrible is that colon cancer is easily preventable. Carolina Digestive Diseases and Endoscopy Center wants you to know that a colonoscopy can save your life. Dr. Philip Goldstein and the staff at Carolina Digestive Diseases offer treatment and care for all your GI needs. Carolina Digestive Diseases is a private practice focused on keeping costs down for their patients. They file all insurances, have an on-site endoscopy center, and in-house pathology for quick turnaround. The office is conveniently located on W.H. Smith Boulevard, and you can park next to the front door. Dr. Goldstein is dual board certified in internal medicine and gastroenterology and offers appointments within 5 business days.
Hi, this is Dr. Philip Goldstein reminding you that a colonoscopy can save your life. Visit our website, cddgastro.com, and come see us at Carolina Digestive Diseases.
Need $1,000 to $10,000 immediately for a gift for someone special, car repairs, or unexpected expenses? Time Financing Service offers competitive loan rates. Apply online and get your answer in less than an hour in most cases. Then you can pick up the cash at any of our 24 convenient locations. Apply online 24/7 at timefinancing.com. That's timefinancing.com. We're putting the money on you. Time Financing Service.
Kickback Jack's is the home of award-winning chicken wings, savory burgers, made-from-scratch pizza, appetizers, dinners, and desserts. There's no better place to kick it inside or outdoors than Kickback Jack's in Greenville with daily specials like our $5 Burger Tuesdays, where the guests get a fresh half-pound burger with choice of cheese and a side of fries for just $5. And Tuesday and Wednesday night special is $3 pints and half-price wine. Located on the corner of Greenville Boulevard and Red Banks Road, Kickback Jack's is Greenville's place for great food, great fun, and great football.
WRHD HD1 Farmville, Washington, Greenville. You're listening to the Pirate Nation's FM station, 94.3 The Game.
Hour 2 of Game Time starts now. 94.3 The Game, the Pirate Nation's FM station. Video streams up at 943thegame.com.
I thought I was loud. Jesus.
That voice you hear is Tony Castleberry's.
How much longer do I have? Like 10, 15, 10?
Yeah, Amanda
You got
Barnes
a real
she's
person
hanging out
to
here.
interview here.
She's hanging out here.
I'm just
Amanda Barnes.
blah, blah, blah guy.
Yeah, Danielle.
Right?
What was that, Danielle? You just did like the wave? Like
She was-
she
Hey.
said
Yeah.
hey. Okay, she's turned to my side. I can't see behind me. Amanda, I'm not nocturnal.
You got to keep your head on a swivel, Josh. You've heard that. What are you doing?
What is a swivel?
I can't even
What's a
hear you
swivel
right now.
Really? That's where we're going to take this
At
show?
943 The Game. Do you know what a swivel is?
Josh, what would happen if they told you that you couldn't put any poll questions up? Could you do a show?
The show wouldn't exist. It wouldn't exist.
Me thinks you couldn't.
Yes. Do you know what a swivel is?
Danielle with a nice one.
Think
I
about
like
the
that.
economy. If she doesn't have a job
Yes,
here,
true. All the poll questions.
she's the
that you
queen of
need.
polls, Danielle Beaver over here.
The one that I'm really concerned with is, do people respect me?
Okay, let's update the poll since we're talking about it. Danielle Beaver is the queen of polls.
And I have to go soon.
And Tony Castleberry has to go soon. Let's update that. But the most recent one, do you know what a swivel is? Don't update that because we don't have enough sample size on it. But what else do we have?
Do you get why the banning of this weekend's ECU versus USF game from being broadcast on a radio station is funny? 60% say no.
Oh, shocker.
Do you believe Ric Flair? 71% say yes.
Okay, if you don't know what we're
got more people believe
if you don't know what we're talking about, here's Ric Flair, and he claimed that he brought Halle Berry to Space Mountain.
All right, Rick, this week's Ask Nate's question comes to us from Goober Dwayne. On Twitter, he wants to know, any celebrity riders of Space Mountain?
Oh, gosh. Several dozen.
We're going to get any names
You want me
today?
to start with Halle Berry or what?
Oh, Halle Berry rode Space Mountain.
Of course she did.
Okay.
She was in Atlanta, and she just got divorced from Dave Justice.
Wait, are you telling a real story right now?
Would I have to make up a lie?
Anybody else we want to list besides Halle Berry? That's a pretty big one.
Let's stick with her.
I just love that it was a proximity thing. Oh, she was in Atlanta.
Oh, naturally.
Oh, yeah. So I can hook up with Halle Berry. She was in the city limits. I was there.
Interview. Who's next? Julio Jones. Cam Newton's from around there. Space Mountain.
God, Ric Flair. Hey, stay gold, Ric Flair. Stay gold.
Mm-hmm.
Do people respect Tony Castleberry? Danielle, what say the poll people?
59% say yes.
Ooh.
Okay.
Did it go up?
It went up a percentage
It did.
point.
One.
Yeah,
Amanda Barnes remembers.
Amanda said she didn't vote. Okay. She's in on
See?
it. She's in on it.
Billy Weaver from WITN voted no. Billy, I see you. I will see you at a basketball practice. We will handle this.
Billy's on the air right now.
We will handle this. That's why I'm talking. He can't hear me.
Okay.
We'll handle this, Billy Weaver. Me and you. After I beat John in basketball, I'm coming for you, Billy Weaver.
All right.
Just going to take the entire city of Greenville.
I'm ready.
Any more polls?
Yeah.
What else do we have?
Who does Tony Castleberry sound most like? 67% say Jeff Foxworthy.
There's no doubt, right?
Randy Moss got some votes though, so that's
I know.
impressive.
I know. I'm
There's
happy.
only 9 votes. on
Okay,
that one.
okay. So we still we
Hey,
still
we don't need the numbers.
That was only 15 minutes ago though. So we'll get more numbers on that. You can vote on those at 9:43.
Please
the
vote
game.
Randy Moss.
Okay. We have Amanda Barnes going to be with us in 10 minutes. All right, Tony, we have basketball clips that we're actually going to play. We promise.
Okay.
Because we're playing them now. Caleb White. Caught up with him at ECU basketball practice earlier today. His role is one that really changes because they have bigs, and he was someone who was brought in as a guard, but he was 6'7", and they said, all right, well, since you're 6'7", and we only have one guy taller than you, we might need to play you in the post. And that was discomforting. So now he finally gets to play in a way that he was brought in to play. This is what he had to say with us earlier today.
From what you've seen at practice, how does stylistically this team look different than the ones you've been a part of in years past?
I mean, you can just look at it when we're out on the floor. You know, it's a lot more size. A lot of guys that we have in some key positions are 1 year more seasoned. So, you know, that's 1 year better, 1 year of extra gym time. So you can, I can tell, like, in terms of, you know, every year where we are in the beginning. And this group is ahead of, especially last year and a couple years before as well.
When you saw the out-of-conference schedule, you being from Virginia and saw the game at UVA, what went through your mind?
I just can't wait to play there. I mean, I get chills about it because, you know, that's like basically right in my backyard. So knowing how many people are going to be there. I know when we went up to JMU, I had over 200 people there. So I can only imagine what it's going to be like at UVA. I don't really want to talk about it much because I don't want to jinx it, but I'm looking to have a really big game there.
Well, Caleb, another thing that you kind of hinted at as well is that there's a flexibility that you guys have and a versatility that wasn't there in years past. I mean, what have you seen there? I mean, how much more flexible is this team to do different things?
A lot more. You know, one big thing I believe is on defense. You'll see a lot more man-to-man this year. We have a lot more athletes in the stable. We have a lot more size down low just in case, you know, somebody gets a step or gets their shoulders past you. We can really contest at the rim. And then we can be more aggressive because we know we have more size and athletic ability down below to rebound the ball as well.
How much more comfortable are you in man-to-man?
I like it better. It kind of adds, like, to the competition. You get to kind of get in the flow of the game more. You get to compete a lot more.
That is Caleb White at ECU basketball practice today. Always great to talk to. We heard his thoughts on the potential that ECU basketball players might find a way to protest the national anthem if that's something that they feel that they need to do. He's always very insightful and thoughtful. And Caleb, he spoke to a couple of things. One, a lot of people come out to see him play when he goes and plays in Virginia.
200? I don't know 200 people. I don't. Definitely not like family and friends. Like I mean, like people that I've actually met and know. I don't talk to 200 people.
Another thing he spoke to, though, is the flexibility that ECU has, and it has me thinking. A lot of seasons have started for Jeff Lebo under, I guess, questions of whether or not he could really run his system, and there were limitations. And I'm not going to say excuses, but people. There was legitimate concerns and excuses that you could have that held the program down. But for ECU this season, that doesn't seem to exist. And if success doesn't follow this season, I don't really know what else you can point to.
I certainly think they'll be improved from last year. Now, that's not going out on a major limb because they were 12-20. So I would expect a closer to 500 finish, but really the proven commodities on that team are still there. You know what you're going to get from B.J. Tyson, Caleb White, you know, several others, Michelle Nzigi, a handful of other guys. It's how these new players fit with the returning group. That's really what it's going to come down to, and it's impossible to predict right now.
Talking about the post, Michelle Nzigi, well, I asked him just about that subject, and here's what he had to say earlier at ECU practice.
Last season, you know, like people like myself, Kentrell, and Caleb, we obviously had to play out of position and do more than what we're, you know, expected to do initially. You know, just get out of our typical roles, which is good. You know, as a basketball player, you got to learn how to adapt yourself to any situations and play at different spots, different positions. So it helped us. But this season, I feel like it's going to help a lot. You know, like the guards, like Caleb and BJ and Kentrell, are going to be able to play the natural position, their own role, and they'll be more aggressive on the offensive end. I don't think they'll be as lost on the defensive end, you know, trying to guard much bigger players. So it's definitely going to help them to have a lot more size like this and blocking shots too. You know, Andre and Jabari, they're very athletic bigs. Dre is very long. He can, you know, alter shots. He might not block every shot, but he's going to definitely alter shots. Like when guards going to drive down the lane, they're going to think twice about, you know, trying to make a layup. Yeah. And Jabari is super athletic. Like he's a freak of nature. He's still a little bit raw, but he's going to get better. He's getting better every day, so he's just got to keep working.
Michelle Nzigi at ECU basketball practice. At football practice, breaking news into 94.3 The Game. Zay Jones and Philip Nelson neither practiced today. So they neither practiced, but were not listed on the injury report, which I talked about yesterday. We asked Coach Montgomery about what their status was because they took pretty big hits and they were taken out of the game, and they're not on the injury report, which leads you to think what? That they're playing. They're not injured, right?
Yeah.
And then the response was, well, we're optimistic they're going to play, but we don't know.
Yeah, it's Tuesday. Let's give it a day.
Give it a day. So don't freak out about this, but if you don't practice, you're probably injured, and they're not on the injury report, so I don't know what's happening.
And I've heard that if you don't practice, you don't play. Have you ever heard this?
That's red hot take.
See, John, you can listen to me and learn some things, bro.
What did you learn from Michelle Nzigi right there?
Michelle's great. I didn't learn anything that I didn't already know about that guy. I talked to that. I mean, do you really want to compare who has interviewed Michelle Nzigi more, me or you?
That's not what I was doing.
Is that not
there.
what this was about? I'm taking everything as a competition today. Why? I'm very competitive now. I'm fired up. Let's arm wrestle right now. Come on.
I don't think that
Josh.
translates well for radio.
Do you think I care?
We have video. We have video right here, John.
But the majority of our audience is listening to the audio.
And,
you know that?
And I just want to point out that in case my entire radio history hasn't already proven this, I don't care.
True story.
See?
I'm not going to arm wrestle.
That's what makes me me, and another guy who won't take me up on an offer of a competition.
No, this basketball game's happening.
Okay.
This is happening.
All right. I
guarantee you.
I first challenged John to a duel.
Yeah, I love how you challenge me, Danielle. Do you want to take Tony on in an arm wrestle?
Dance competition?
She would kill me.
I know. I actually
She
saw.
would destroy
I
me.
promised I'd go see her show. Great job on Sunday, by the way. What was that? Your senior something?
The senior choreography concert.
You're not even a
on.
senior though.
No.
That's impressive.
That's advanced.
Yeah. What are you, a double major?
Mm-hmm.
I know nothing of that world. I barely got through what my little communications major.
Before we let you go,
What are we talking about now?
Being sober changes your release, Tony Castleberry. In regards to this, a tweeter says,
Yeah.
You're sober now. Does this change your game?
It does. It improves it.
Really?
It improves basically everything, is what I've found. When you stop drinking the way that I was drinking, it makes everything infinitely better. My writing is better. My radio appearance is clearly great. See? My basketball game, top notch. For a man of a certain age like me, it's really good. As we'll see when we film this.
You love that expression, man of a certain age.
Yeah, it's a great saying. Yeah. I'm a man of a certain age, which means above 40.
Okay.
I'm older than 40, but man, I don't look it. Am I right?
Yeah. We're going to go to a comedy show this weekend.
Yeah.
Before we get out of
Nikki Glazer,
Yeah.
one of the best comics in the world.
Love her television show on Comedy Central.
Yeah,
Not
one of the
saying.
best stand-up
Very good
comics.
podcast, too.
Yeah, one of the best stand-up comics around. I have been a fan for a long time. Have not seen her live. I interviewed her last year. I'm hoping to line up an interview this year that you can read on raleighco.com. And I promised you, Josh, that I would take you to a comedy show when you returned east, and I'm following through on my promise. Will you get off my back already?
I will.
John, I didn't promise you anything. Don't look at me with those puppy dog eyes.
I never get an invite. I wish
You got
I wish
an
I
invite
did.
to play me in basketball.
I've never been to
You
a
did.
comedy show, and it would be great to watch one with Tony Castleberry.
Well, maybe I can swing a ticket for you.
Maybe I just got to go to Ray, Colorado first and then come back.
I didn't know you were a big comedy fan.
I am.
Are you?
I am.
John, please go, because I don't know if I can put up with Josh for all that time. It's a lot. He's a lot.
This is true.
It's the best buffet in the USA.
That's Tony Castleberry. Read his work at thereflector.com. We got Amanda Barnes with us next on Game Time.
Dr. Thomas McIntosh at Carolina Vision Care announces 2 new optometrists have joined the practice. Dr. Scott McIntosh, an Eagle Scout who grew up in Greenville and attended Rose High and ECU, and Dr. Natalie McIntosh, originally from Arkansas. Both just graduated with honors from the Southern College of Optometry in Memphis. Scott was chosen to be a student ambassador and received an award from the staff for clinical excellence. Natalie was also an honor student and was honored with the Southwest Contact Lens Society Award. To schedule an appointment, call 752-4380. Affordable Hearing offers Eastern Carolina's best value in Starkey hearing aids in all styles, including custom invisible hearing aids. You'll save thousands compared to national brands. Affordable Hearing offers the latest technology like wireless hearing aids that stream from your TV and iPhone directly into your hearing aids. And you get a 30-day money-back guarantee if you're not completely satisfied. Affordable Hearing with locations in Greenville, Kinston, New Bern, Bayboro, and Morehead City. Or you can call the owner, Kent Denton Cell Phone Direct at 252-227-9646.
At Hastings Ford, we believe in tailgating right. The Ford F-Series has been America's best-selling American truck for over 39 years, starting in 1977 and continuing today with the most innovative engineering and technology available in any full-size pickup. Take charge and quarterback your tailgating party with the Pirates this year in a new F-150 from Hastings Ford. Ain't it great to tailgate? Visit HastingsFord.com for great deals on new F-150s.
Come in today for a test drive and get your key to satisfaction at Hastings Ford in Greenville.
Football season's here in Pirate Nation, and Ann's Dumplings has you covered in the kitchen. Ann's One Sauce is perfect for meatballs, meatloaf, burgers, pork chops, fish, and all meats. And if you're grilling, you gotta have Ann's One Sauce. Just apply 3 minutes before you take the meat off the grill. And Ann's One Dressing is just right for deviled eggs, egg salad, coleslaw, and potato salad. You don't have to start from scratch anymore. Just use Ann's One Dressing to save time, and it's delicious. Ann's One Sauce and One Dressing can be found at the Piggly Wiggly in Aden and online at annsdumplings.com.
Looking for a great CD? Look at Telco Credit Union. Highest interest rates, 60 months at 2.25%. Invest money safely. Enjoy shorter terms, 48 months at 2%. Secured by NCUA. Get peace of mind. Located in Greenville, 631 East Arlington Boulevard. You can belong here. Telco is accepting memberships now. Let them be your credit union.
Fit for Life 24 is Greenville's premier fitness center. Fit for Life offers 24/7 access, childcare, personalized training, and group personal training. Visit either of our 2 convenient locations in Greenville with just 1 membership. And now, Fit for Life has launched Fit Fresh 24. Fit for Life has partnered with Village Point Market to provide fresh, healthy meals ready to go. Grab a healthy lunch or dinner after you work out. It's time to get Fit for Life. Check us out at fitforlife24.com or call 321-2222 and join today.
You're tuned in to Game Time. 94.3 The Game. We are the Pirate Nation's FM station. Already knocked out a lot with Tony Castleberry. That goes all over the place. John Jansen is the producer of this show. Danielle Beaver is the queen of polls and is our intern. We now welcome in the women's lacrosse coach who has been patiently waiting and comes on it. It's Amanda Barnes. It's good to have you.
It's good to be here, Josh. Thanks for having me.
Got a big, bright smile on your face.
I do. I'm excited.
See, I can only imagine. I have so many questions and so much that I'm interested in with you guys. What has the last couple months been like?
Ooh, whirlwind. Personally and professionally, you're uprooting your life, you're moving, but you're starting this program literally from the ground up. So it's been, I think it's been almost 3 months now, 3 months to the day, on the job and hasn't stopped.
Most people listen to radio passively, so I don't know if this is going to work, but I'll give them an opportunity anyway. If you have a question about lacrosse, for Coach Barnes, give us a call, 252-561-4263, 252-561-4263. If you have a question about lacrosse, because it's a new sport, and I wonder in your case, how much is it trying to get a team for you, and how much is it trying to teach people who are already here, who may not be lacrosse players, about lacrosse?
It is completely both. I mean, first and foremost, you're recruiting, obviously, as a coach. Sure. That's, you're building a team. We have to have players to put on a field. But I mean, I went to a Pirate Club function up in Rocky Mount and met with some great people, had some great Brunswicks too. And the questions I got up there, I mean, and everywhere, even in our own athletic department, are, so how big is the field? How many people are on the field? What does a lacrosse ball look like? One of our administrators actually thought when I talked about ordering cages that I was talking about ordering batting cages. It was all in good fun. But I think he was really nervous that we needed batting cages for women's lacrosse. It was like, no, just goal cages. So it's both, and it's exciting too to be able to educate people about a sport that I'm very passionate about. It means a lot to me.
See, I wrote a little bit about championship lacrosse. Every year I used to go and cover the championships for high school. So I'm all about the game. I'm excited that it had it. But what was your initial reaction when ECU contacted you about being the first ever coach for a program?
Well, I mean, I think my initial reaction when I heard that ECU was even adding women's lacrosse, this was before they had contacted me about it, was shock. I mean, it was really the best kept secret in kind of the lacrosse world that ECU literally came out of nowhere with this decision to add the sport. But for me, it was, they reached out and I got to campus, as quickly as we could, and it was beautiful. Never having been here, even though I've lived in the state 9 of the last 12 years, had never been to East Carolina before. So getting here, seeing some of the facilities was really just kind of blown away.
See, I was born in Maryland. You're from Maryland too, correct?
Yes.
One of our interns is from Maryland, not this one, unfortunately. But what part of Maryland are you from?
I'm from Bel Air.
Bel Air.
Harford County, top of the bay.
That's right. That's
yes.
right. I'm aware. Do you miss Old Bay any?
I bring it with me everywhere I go.
Okay, fair enough. See, the Orioles are playing a wild card game tonight. I am going out to watch this event at Kickback Jacks, which, by the way, quick reminder, we'll have our post-game show there this week at 9:43 The Game. I was supposed to mention that at some point. Our post-game show for USF ECU is going to be there after this game this weekend.
Go O's.
Go O's. Ostros, Natty Bows.
Ravens fan too?
No.
Oh.
Panthers.
Okay.
See, you like purple. I get it.
Yeah.
I understand. We had a Raven here last week. Rashad Perryman was with us, but unfortunately he had the Hail Mary catch against ECU, so it wasn't for the best of circumstances. But we're being joined by Amanda Barnes, ECU women's lacrosse coach, is with us. I said that very funny. But you obviously have been a part of big-time lacrosse programs before coming here. Duke and UNC are both championship-level lacrosse programs in both the men's and the women's level. This year, if I'm not mistaken, was the UNC women and men winning the championship. What can you take away from what the way they run things over there and instilling the proper culture that can build championship level lacrosse here in Eastern North Carolina?
Yeah, well, I mean, I think anytime you're surrounded by a championship culture and obviously championship coaches as mentors, it's incredibly invaluable. I mean, you're learning from them every day, not only, how to interact with your student athletes and how to train your student athletes, but also how to manage a team and manage a culture because, I think those things are pretty driving when you have driving influences in your team sports. So I think, really kind of pulling, and I was fortunate, too, at Duke to be surrounded by the men's and the women's staff. Our men's lacrosse coaches were in the same hallway with us, so certainly kind of drawing from both of their experiences were a huge impact.
What's been the most difficult part so far?
Not having a team.
Is it hard because you're lonely? Is that it?
Oh, it's hard because you see everybody else. Like I'm watching the softball coaches go out to practice and individuals every day, and I mean you choose to coach because you love the sport and you love to train and you love to teach. That age and that sport, and I don't get to do that.
It's kind of ironic though that you have these great championship level programs in the state. But a lot of the players don't come from this state, where Maryland's such a hotbed and a fertile recruiting ground. And also up in the Northeast, it's the same way. I mean, Syracuse is one of the premier schools as well.
Huge. We're getting kids from that area.
Right. Is that the areas that you hit the most, or where else am I missing?
I mean, I think that area has the most volume in terms of the best female athletes choose to play women's lacrosse in some of those areas, in some of those high schools. I think, we're getting a ton of interest from the state of North Carolina. It's growing rapidly, probably a little bit more so in the Triangle area than necessarily east of 95, but it's getting there. It's getting there.
How does that change?
I think part of it's going to be the coaches. We need to train youth coaches to get that up and off the ground, and officials. You have to have people that are qualified and know the game well.
So you're talking about hosting clinics here in Eastern North Carolina.
Absolutely. We're getting ready to launch not only just players clinic, but I think it's part of my role here to also grow the